Earlier in the second part, or third, we discussed that there's certain knowledge that is too wondrous for us, and that's the kind of knowledge that cannot be used in the service of God. Now it begs the question, of course, what kind of knowledge is that? It could be that everything you learned in college could be used in the service of God. For instance, you learn geography. So you know how to get to a place to help other Jews, to help other people, to do mitzvot. Could be you learn business. You learn a business so you can follow the laws of business. You can lead an ethical business life. And these are all ways of serving the one and only. If knowledge is too wondrous, one friend of mine said that it's slander. If you learn how to slander another person while overriding or sidestepping the laws applicable to the newspapers that would be able to get a person brought to court for slander, or how to murder. Okay, knowledge of how to murder or how to cheat. So killing. Another way we have to remember that killing is not always a sin. Sometimes killing is a commandment. Where somebody is coming to kill us, we have to be sure we're there to kill them before they kill us. If you know, and it's a certainty that there's somebody coming to kill you, it's a question of self-preservation. So in that sense, it's not murder, it's killing. The commandment is not to murder. Okay, now let's get back to the Radziner. The Radziner, in the introduction to Chassidus and Kabbalah, it's technically called the Introduction to the Beit Yaakov, the Introduction to the House of Jacob. He says in the 4th chapter, an explanation of the nature of Torah and divine service, Avodas Hashem, before the giving of the Torah. How did we serve God before we were given the Torah 3,000 years ago? God began to illuminate the words of Torah into man from the very day that man was created on the earth, from Adam. This is because when God created the world, that's because God created the world with Torah, and He illuminated into man the knowledge that man was created with the very words of the Torah, and that the Torah is the root of his life. This is, as we find written in the Zohar. So Rabbi Abba said, Rabbi Abba was a student of Rabbi Shimon, the one who wrote the Zohar, or at least said it. Rabbi Abba said, we know that a book descended to Adam Harishon, to the first man. And through this book he knew supernal wisdom. This book reached the Bnei Elohim. See Breshit in the 6th chapter, the 2nd verse. The Bnei Elohim were the sages of the generation. They were the judges. They were the upper echelon. And they received the book of Adam, the book of the mysteries. And whoever was worthy looking into it garnered knowledge of these mysteries. In this way they arrived at a knowledge of the supernal godly wisdom. And similarly Chanoch, mentioned in the book of Genesis, he was also taught a book. He received a book from heaven, the book of Chanoch. And this was when it says this is the book of the generations of man in the 5th chapter of Genesis, chapter 1, it's referring to the book of Chanoch. Now there is a book of Chanoch that has come out these days, which is very doubtful, actually. It's not, I don't know, can it be proved? I don't know. Can it be proved that if somebody says that an angel came to him and showed him some wonder, and then he gave him, and he transcribed a book from this angel, do you believe it? It's doubtful. However, when there's 600,000 witnesses to the giving of the Torah, it's not doubtful. The Zohar, in another passage, says the following. We have already explained, while Adam was in the Garden of Eden, God sent him a book through the angel Raziel, the holy angel in charge of the mysteries of the holy supernal ones. Lofty impressions from the higher worlds were imprinted in this book. Holy wisdom, and 72 kinds of wisdom were explained in 370 engravings of supernal mysteries. He left this book to his son Seth, and all of his descendants, all the way to Abraham. By means of this book, Abraham knew how to look into the glory of his master. This has been explained. Similarly, Adam gave a book to his son Chanoch, descendant Chanoch. The king, Adam Arishon, gave a book to his descendant Chanoch, and in it he looked into supernal glory. We'll conclude with one more brief passage from the Zohar for this segment. The Zohar also says, "Come and see, from his childhood, Noah saw the actions of man and how they sinned against the Holy One, blessed be He. So Noah said to himself, I must hide myself, and I must occupy myself with the mysteries of the service of the Master. I have to serve God alone, away from the secular, depraved society that I live in." So if you ask, what book did Noah use to contemplate divine service? We'll tell you. The Zohar says he studied the book of Adam and the book of Chanoch in order to know how to serve his master.